What is up, guys? This is the Overleveled podcast, episode 55. And we don't got a lot of topics to talk about. This is probably the few that we can actually talk about. I don't even know if there's going to even be more topics Thursday or Friday, but nonetheless, we only have a little bit of gaming topics and then some like movie things, which isn't that much either. But nonetheless, we're going to talk about it and say what we got to say. But first off, we got to talk about Fallout 76. And yeah, man, this game is never going to die with, like, it gets so much freaking news. It's insane. And like, people have found out that Fallout 76 will get loot crates, loot boxes for in a later patch or something like that. And I think that's garbage. I don't think they should even start putting microtransactions in the game. They haven't even fixed the game. I don't know what Bethesda's thinking at this moment for putting loot crates and loot boxes in a game that is unfinished, a game that isn't even good, a game that you're already gonna alienate more people to like for them to come to the game. I just don't understand at that point. Is like, why would you put loot crates and loot boxes in this game already? Bethesda, I thought, like, remember their slogan, they're for the single player gamers and all this stuff, and they're already putting microtransactions and loot crates and loot boxes, and they already know the fiasco with the government of they might step in and have to regulate. And I've said my piece in like the Unusual Suspects podcast, and I was like, you give the government an inch, they're gonna take the whole mile, and this doesn't help us at all. It's gonna start like it's gonna just gets me mad because it's like no one's learning from their mistakes, and like even Bethesda has succumbed to trying to like legit screw the consumer over. We've seen it with the collector's edition. They wanted to screw the fans over there. They wanted to screw the fans with this game and how this game came out to be. Like that condition is piss poor, and now they want to do something like this. Jigga, what do you think about this? Putting loot crates and loot boxes in Fallout 76.
I feel like they can't do it. Because the game is already basically dead. Because like people have already reached end game, so it's like if they did, they already killing off already dead game. So it's like I can't see them doing it. But if they did do it, good luck to them. You ain't gonna make no money on it because it's like nobody's gonna be playing that game already. Like I don't know. Mm-hmm. I know. I was watching Angry Joe. Him and was it Dale? They all didn't reach max level and quit playing. And then there was a damage boost, not damage, like a damage glitch where you couldn't do damage to a certain person. It's like, if that's still in the game, like that game's dead, bro. Like, just imagine like you just start fighting somebody and you can't beat them, and they just fucking destroy you like that. That's terrible. Like, that game is just dead.
Mm-hmm. I feel that. What about you, Inspector? What do you think about them doing this to Fallout 76 already?
It just really shows how desperate Bethesda is to keep this game alive. Because, like, it pretty much came out with a thud because they didn't market it at all. And, like, with all the controversy of it, like, before it came out, like, with all the demo, when it, it kept, when it kept like downloading and undownloading and uninstalling, and now like everyone hates the game, and now they're trying to put in microtransactions, which I think will like take more people away from the game and not bring more people in.
But they actually did market it, because I remember I was watching a football game during the commercial. I seen Fallout 76, the one where she's like turning around shooting with the guns. Like that's when I saw. Mm-hmm. So they did market it, but it ain't helped that trash game.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about this, Claudia?
Fallout 76 sucks. Straight up. I find no two ways about it. Them trying to save the game, it's too late for that.
Well, are they even really saving it by putting loot crates and loot boxes in the game? I feel like they're freaking destroying it.
They're destroying it. They're killing the game even worse to the point where it's going to be like Star Wars Battlefront 2, a dead game.
I think what they're hoping for is that they somehow get somebody who's like, hey, I still love this game, so I'm gonna buy the loot boxes, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah. I feel that. All right. I guess we can go more into the MPD, right? So for MPD, the console that sold the most units is PlayStation. Then it went Switch, and then it went Nintendo. Wait, no, Switch and then Xbox. Sorry. Then what made the top dollar was Switch, then PlayStation, then Xbox.
Oh.
And so I guess, what do we think about this? And then, of course, Red Dead Redemption was the best-selling game of November, which is a given. I don't know how we're surprised about that, or anyone's surprised by that, because it came in the tail end of October, like legit the tail end of October. So I'm not surprised about that. But it makes sense. I know some people were going around saying, Switch is the best. It's sold the most, even though it's top dollar, but didn't sell the best. Made the most money. But PlayStation sold the most units. And personally, I think this is both W for both PlayStation and Nintendo. Because, Nintendo is still like at a, I guess you want to say, expensive price. Like they're at, what is their system at right now? 300 or 350? One or the other. But
last time I saw it, it was like 350, I think.
Yeah, so it makes sense. I mean, they're also buying it for Smash and stuff like that, parents, for Black Friday, so it makes sense for it to be top dollar, and PlayStation dominated and Xbox is in last place. I don't know what else to say. I guess I'm hating on Xbox at this point.
No, that's news, bro. Fake news.
Fake news? Xbox is always on top, Jigga?
It really is, bro.
Oh, shit. Well, then who's on the bottom? Oh, it's $299 for Switch. So it's $299. And
it probably costs like $100 to make, so all that profit.
Yeah.
That's why I think they're making the most money, is because like their system is cheap, and like Microsoft and Sony, not say Microsoft, Microsoft, Sony, like their consoles are like harder to make because they got more expensive parts in it. So it's like, yeah. So the profit is going to always be smaller for them than Nintendo.
Yeah, I feel that. What do you think about this, Inspector, about Sony being the top one unit being sold and Nintendo making the most money?
I'm not surprised that PlayStation is the top dog in terms of units sold, because I think they have been for the last few years. And as Giga said, like, I'm not surprised that Nintendo is the one that's making more money, because, as he said, their console is probably the one that it costs the least to make, because like there's less expensive parts to make it.
All right, what about you, Slider? What do you think?
Think about
PlayStation having the most units sold for November, and Nintendo Switch being the most money being made.
Well, it's simple, because I think personally it's because of Red Dead Redemption 2 selling really well. Everyone thought that game was good, and it is. I'm just surprised it didn't win Game of the Year still. And to be realistically, I'm just gonna echo what Inspector said. So. Okay,
all right. So next thing, I guess I'm gonna be talking about one of the best trailers that came out this week. It's a little game called Kingdom Hearts 3. Actually, no. Should I even say that? Should I go? I completely forgot the biggest news for Kingdom Hearts. I guess we go first with the biggest news. Kingdom Hearts 3 is in the wild. I forgot to say that. Sucks for me because it happened near the state where I live. So sorry, guys. So a guy, I don't know his name, stole 30 copies in the shipment for Square Enix stole it and sold it in the wild. People went face to face. I believe he sold 10 copies. We don't know if he sold more or less. So 10 copies. I believe it's just Xbox One game, Xbox One versions of the game, and it's insane because the game isn't going to come out for another a month and a half. So now we have to wait for so long. People were worried about the January 24th release for Japan, and we had to wait 5 days for the English version. And now we have people having the game and playing it and now posting things about it. And it's insane because this is like the biggest leak of all time in terms of a game coming out. And now people are worried because people really do enjoy the Kingdom Hearts story and stuff like that. So now it's like, damn, this dude straight up stole it. Was selling it for $100, and they did have a press release saying, this is awful, blah blah blah, Square Enix and Nomura, but they said that the biggest spoilers are the epilogue and the secret movie, and those aren't in the game, so it'll be patched on the launch date of the game. So that's the only blessing, I guess. But still, people are still going to spoil it. But I don't know what to say, really, to be honest. It's like, damn, this guy really stole that shit and tried to make a profit. Jigo, what do you think about this?
Look, he should have sent me a copy. That's all I'm saying.
Because you have the Xbox version?
Oh, man. Yeah, facts. But I'm definitely getting the Xbox version because people always say Xbox don't buy games, so I got to buy it on the Xbox when it's possible. But yeah, unfortunately, it's sad that it's like footage out there of the game. But I mean, I haven't seen nothing, so I'm happy that I haven't seen much. And I think they might be damage controlling about the ending. But it could be true, but I still feel like they might be damage controlling. Like, what can we say? Well, that's not the real ending. But who knows?
Yeah, I mean, they were saying the epilogue and the secret movie, which all Kingdom Hearts games have secret movies, that those will be patched in. So it might be patched in or it might not. They might play the game and they show the footage, and there's no secret movie or epilogue, and that might be the case. But nonetheless, it sucks because we gotta dodge some spoilers for until January 29th. But It is what it is, I guess. Spectre, what do you think about this big leak?
Yeah, it sucks that a guy stole it. And I agree that they might be damage controlling about the ending. I don't think it's smart for you to say, oh, the ending is a day one patch. I don't think that's the greatest way to damage control this situation. Like, I get what they're trying to do, but saying your ending isn't part of your game when you're ending it when your game has already gone gold, like, I don't think that's a smart damage control tactic.
Mm-hmm.
But to each their own. I get what they're trying to do.
What about you, Salati? What do you think
Of the Kingdom Hearts situation?
Yeah, with the person stealing 30 copies from the shipment for Square Enix.
Firstly, that's bad. And secondarily, it's going to be well, we don't know exactly how much damage will it cause, when it comes down to when they sell it, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But you said 30 copies were stolen, right?
Yeah, 30 and 10 were sold so far that we know of, and they were sold on the Facebook Marketplace.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the guy was selling on the Facebook Marketplace, so they can see his profile and everything.
Well, the thing I can say then is it sucks for Square Enix. Square Enix is going to lose a lot of money, about $60 each.
Well, yeah, he's making like $40 in profit. That dude. Oh, actually, the dude stole it. So he's making like more than 100% of profits.
Yeah,
but I heard his page is down though, and I'm pretty sure I think the dude's in
Square.
jail now.
Yeah, I think Square's already cracked down onto him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's just insane. It's the biggest leak for a game, to be honest.
No, that's the biggest. I would say biggest crime.
Oh yeah.
in video game history.
Well, there was like that situation. Remember, Jigga? Like somebody stole like a bunch of PlayStation 4s off a truck or something like that. Because I think I like remember something like that near the launching of the PlayStation 4. So I think that was crazy, though. That was pretty crazy, I would say.
I mean, this is just crazy though, because this is in recent events. Like besides the PlayStation 4 event, this is an actual game, not a console. So for a game to get sold online like that and before its release date actually means that it's putting Square Enix in a bad position to now say, okay, well, we can't do this and we got to do this, and they have to now be careful on what the shipping is.
Yeah, because I don't know, like there was different stories about how he got it. Like some people were saying like he had ties to the shipping facility and someone stole it for him. And then there was like, or he was an employee there and stole it or something like that. It was like one of those things. So,
Okay.
all right, I guess I'm gonna go in and quickly talk about that Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer. And like it was crazy. So I got something to say real quick because it's funny to me that there were some people. I'm not gonna name names because it's not nice to name some names, but some people are like the game spoiled. The trailer spoiled everything, and I watched that trailer. And these are Kingdom Hearts fans, by the way. These are guys that actually hate Kingdom Hearts, and then I watched it. And to be honest, I can't tell you what's going to happen in that story. Like, I watched it. It's a final battle trailer. And I can't tell you anything. I can't tell you. I'm like, oh, is this person coming back? I don't know. Is that Shion? Is that what's happening? Is that in the beginning of the game? Is that in the middle? Is that in the ending? What is happening here? Like, why are they being chained up? I can't tell you anything. That game, like, I can't say anything for that trailer. But do I like really enjoy that final battle trailer? Hell yeah! I thought it was really, really damn awesome. But I can't tell you what the frick. I didn't even know what the end credit scene of that trailer was. Like, someone had to say, "Yo, that's from Back Cover," that cell phone game. Like, I was like, "What? That's Cable Town." I didn't even know what Cable Town was. You know. I just thought it was funny that like people were saying like the Kingdom Hearts haters were saying spoilers and stuff like that. But I enjoyed like that trailer and stuff like that. It gets me more hyped up for the game and the story. But can't tell you what the story is going to be like in Kingdom Hearts 3. I just like all I know is Xehanort is trying to open Kingdom Hearts and trying to live a long life. I guess.
Oh man.
What about you, Jigga? Did you see that trailer?
But the Kingdom Hearts trailer?
Yeah.
What I really like, what I like about that, it's like the different like graphics from different worlds.
Oh yeah,
like, man, it looks good, bro. I can't wait till that game come out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to beat the first two before that one comes out, but I don't see it happening. But I'm definitely gonna play that when it comes out. 'Cause, man, like the story wise, I don't know what's going on.
There you go, bro.
I'm lost. Like I just see a whole bunch of people talking and then the Frost people. I don't know what's going on, but it looks good though. So.
Yeah. What do you think about the Kingdom Hearts haters for saying that was a bunch of spoilers?
I mean, it could be if you know the story, but I don't know it. So
I know the story, and I can't tell you what is happening. Like, I can't tell you the beginning, middle, and end of how that game's going to turn out to be. Like, I can't. That's the thing.
Yeah, when it comes, you can really spoil that game.
Because the thing is, it's like movies. There are spoilers in movie trailers, right? And you can go like, "Oh, this is beginning, middle, and end." This I can't do. I can't.
Yeah, because you don't know what. Yeah, I agree with that.
Everything's out of context in that trailer, and I think movie trailers should be like very like out of context esque and like not very like apparent. It's like, "Oh, this is beginning, middle, and end," and stuff like that. Where a lot of movie trailers suffer. But nonetheless, so have you seen the trailer or no?
No opinion.
What about you, Inspector?
I didn't see the trailer.
All right, cool. I guess that's really it for gaming news wise. Unless somebody else like has any other like gaming news to share. Oh yeah, no, there was one. There was the Spider-Man DLC for Silver Lining. I'm not gonna really discuss the suits. Suits were mediocre. I'm not gonna go into depth for that. What else can I say? Like we all knew Silver Sable was going to be in the DLC. It wasn't a surprise. I thought everything was good up until I saw Hammerhead as a cyborg, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "There are things where you're like, okay, I understand that this story is a comic book, and like the game's a comic book game, but then there's a point where you're going balls to the wall, crazy." And this is going balls to the wall, I think. Having Hammerhead as a cyborg. As a big mech dude.
Like, well, I haven't seen nothing about that because I'm just waiting for. I was basically waiting for that DLC to come out so I can. Cause I still haven't played the one before the second DLC.
Yeah, the Turf Wars, yeah.
So, well, I already know what it's going to be. It's just going to be a whole bunch of, here's a new enemy, and then we're going to combine all the enemies together, and you got to fight them. It's like that shit gets annoying, bro.
Mm-hmm. Like, it gets pretty hard. I'm not going to freaking lie about that.
I don't know. I don't feel like it's hard. I feel like it's fake hard, where it's like, it's not the enemies that's hard, it's just the number of enemies and
I feel like a lot of people do die. Like I died in my stream, and then I went to Taladia's stream. That dude Taladia died too. Turf Wars a lot.
Oh man, I ain't dying.
I'll be honest with you. Turf Wars, right? It was so freaking hard. It took me 10 tries to finish the boss, and like I was watching Red Hood stream, and I was just like saying,
"Yeah, I can beat this early, easy." And I was like, "Okay."
I don't get why people play it on hard though. Why do that?
I didn't even play it on Ultimate.
I didn't play on Ultimate.
I'm playing on easy, bro. Like I'm done. I'm tired of like playing for difficulty. That's just dumb.
I haven't played it on Ultimate because I'm using my first playthrough save. I haven't even finished my New Game Plus for Ultimate, so I've only done Spectacular so far.
Oh man, y'all spooky. Easy game out here.
Easy game. Oh man, I just do it just for some difficulty because people were saying it's like super easy. So I was like, let me put on the hardest difficulty. But I guess, what do you think, Claudia, about the DLC?
Well, about the new one coming out this Friday.
Yeah.
Oh god, more screwball challenges, and I just think the boss fight is going to be really hard. Twice as hard as this last one. I mean, they shouldn't have put screwball into the thing in the first place. I feel as if that's a cop out. And I also feel as if that this whole DLC is a separate thing, but it's like a mini series that I felt it should have been in the main game. Shouldn't even be in the DLC, to be honest with you.
See, that's where I disagree, because I can understand if, like, let's say, for instance, Ashen DLC for Mass Effect 3. That definitely was in-game locked DLC on disc. That should have been in the game. Mass Effect 3 Extended Cut fixing the ending. That should have been on the game. This, to me, is a separate story that takes place after the main campaign of the game, where I'm like, that doesn't have to be in the main story. Now, in terms of price-wise, you could argue that, hey, this isn't worth $25. This is worth maybe $15, $10 at max, because you compare it to like The Witcher and stuff like that, and they do it at $20 or $25. I think $25 was the expansion pass, but like compared to that, then it's complete like trash.
I think for The Witcher 3, like a DLC was like around $15 to $20, but it was like 30 to 40 hours of good good story and shit, bro.
Yeah, not many games do that shit.
All this shit could have been like bundled together and like made one big DLC instead of.
Yeah, I agree that it should have been one DLC. I agree to that. It is what it is. It's like I think because of them putting so much, there's not much time to do these DLCs. They're doing a month and pumping these things out, and the feedback, there's no feedback because then they have to go right into the next DLC and right into the next one, and there's not much changing it. And then they're like, Well, most of the feedback for, let's say, Marvel Spider-Man won't be addressed in Marvel Spider-Man 2. It won't be addressed within the actual DLC content, which we would like. Now, if they waited and actually did the DLC content later, you know what I mean? Like next year, then we would be having different DLC quality.
But see, my problem with this is that instead of like having DLC for the point of DLC, have DLC when you're like, we have a good idea that didn't fit with the main story, so we're gonna make that into a DLC. Like that's when I feel like DLC is worth it, when it's something good. It's not done just for the purpose of having DLC, and that's what I feel like this is.
Yeah, it's like I feel like a lot of games suffer this. We
gotta have DLC.
Yeah, I like, even like in the superhero genre, like with like even with like the, what do you call it, the Nightwing DLC and all that stuff, like it was there just for there. And like the same thing with Spider-Man at this point. And it's like they're doing it at a very like fast rate where they're not getting much quality out of it, right? You have games like, let's say, Uncharted, right? Lost Legacy, amazing. You know how long that took? A while.
That's not even a DLC. That's like a spinoff.
No, like it was initially like a DLC, but became super big. And then it became, oh damn! But it became you know a game in of itself.
They cut it off.
Like I would pay, like I paid for that, and like I got the quality. You know what I mean? Witcher 3, that shit could have been an actual game. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, all them DLCs could have
been an actual main game. But they said like that was 40 hours. And Heart of Stone was like about 20 hours.
Oh man, I missed that game. That's why I'm so hyped for what's the name?
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, cause it's like them playing them games and them DLCs. It's like once you get used to greatness, it's like it's hard to going back to playing average ass games. Yeah. And that's what a lot of these companies are putting out, just average games.
And also, like I want to say, like right now I was streaming Xenoblade Chronicles 2: Legend of Torna. That thing, right, is a lot of content, like a lot of good content. And I was like, wow, this has a lot of content. Like like I'm so, like this was part of the expansion pass. I believe it was $30, and like it was insane the amount of content. I'm still not done with it, and I was like, good word, like this has more content than all the like Spider-Man DLCs. Just saying. And the Spider-Man expansion pass, like what do you call it, DLC pass, was $25. This was $30. I'm just saying. And it came with more side quests for the main game as well. And that's, I guess, the problem is that the DLCs are getting put like too fast at a rate, whereas the Legend of Korra was also, it took a while to do.
You see, that
at least in September, and the game came out in December.
But the thing is, with Spider-Man DLC, the one we just got, I feel as if this DLC, they put so many challenges that weren't necessarily needed to be putting in. Yeah. The story was great. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the story, like you got no complaints from me when it comes to the story for Spider-Man.
Same here. DLC. Same here. Story was great, but the challenges, they weren't needed to be added in. But maybe like, you know, some side missions, like, you know, like
actual main side missions, like
the Black Cat, the main Black Cat thing. You find all the artwork and that.
I wanted more of like Tombstone, like those type of side missions. Like I would not mind.
Oh, you mean the bases?
No, Tombstone. Like we had a side mission with Tombstone to face him and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. So
like those type of side, amazing. But like when we get stuff like Screwball, like I'm pretty sure when people started complaining about Screwball in DLC 1, like they just had to keep going with it. It was like they were already in part of doing the DLC 2, and they're like, oh, well now we just said, you know, see you next season, which is, you know, the third DLC, and they're like, rip. So it is what it is at this point. But what do you get? I guess, from my opinion, though, just So what do you think about Hammerhead and like being a cyborg at this point? Like, I think that's kind of like too crazy for me. Claudia.
I think the cyborg thing is stupid. I think that's just a cop out from what game series was it? I forgot what it's called now. It's a cop out from a game. Oh, that's right. It was a cop out from not Mr. From Batman Arkham Knight, I think. That what's it called? One of the villains turned into, he turned into something else. I can't remember what it was. But like, I'm not looking forward to facing this boss whatsoever.
Wait, that's too crazy for me.
I think to be honest with you, this DLC, the whole Silver Sable thing, I understand, but they could have brought her father into the story at least. That is something I really wanted, but no, they give us what's his name, Hammerhead, to come back, and then we gotta face that dude again.
As a cyborg.
Well, I just think it's a bit ridiculous.
My thing is, they just cut Hammerhead's like, yo, cut my head off, put it on the cyborg, and we would be good. It's like, what? That's too much for me. I guess, Inspector, what's your opinion on Hammerhead turning into a cyborg?
No comment. It's so weird. I haven't played any of the Spider-Man DLCs as of yet. I'm waiting for all of them to come out so I can like play them all the way through. I don't like this DLC practice for the like have a full story and then just cut it up into sections.
Yeah.
I think it's a waste. I think you're wasting the story potential that you're having because you're basically
do it like one full setting.
Where you can do it in like one full sitting instead of like 2-hour sections. It's a full like 6 hours, which is like an average, a little bit shorter than an average game because an average game is like 8 to 10 hours. But I feel that's better. But I get they want to do it where they could like have a longer life for the game. But the problem is when you only have 3 DLCs, the life of your game is already done by the end of the year.
Yeah, and then we all know by DLC 3, once that's done, put out, the DLC team will be going along with the main team for going full in production for Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, so kind of sucks, but
it's not a secret. It's like we already know, like that's how it went with Lost Legacy. Like the DLC team, like you got another team, working on Last of Us Part 2, and after the DLC comes out, that whole team then goes to Last of Us Part 2 in full production. Like it's part of the gaming industry. We know that. Like a game will not be supported. Like no superhero game nor any like single player game like that will be supported throughout the years that many fans do. I know a lot of Spider-Man fans are like, oh, there could be more DLC next year. No, they're going to make Marvel Spider-Man 2.
There's not going to be another DLC for Spider-Man PS4. They're moving on, and for all you fanboys out there, let me just say this right now: don't harass the developers. Say more DLC, more skins, more this, more that. They're done. Straight up front. Deal with it.
I mean, after the shit they put out, I don't want them to do no more, bro. I'm done. Like,
you just want them going to Marvel Spider-Man 2?
Yeah, just go into the second, bro.
Yeah, I want them to go to the second one and, address the issues that were in the original Spider-Man game, and plus they're working on a character that I can't wait to see, like done right. And if they do him right, I'm going to be super happy. If they do him wrong, I'm going to be very angry.
Yes.
That's what I
can imagine. Yeah, I'll say that as well. If they do him wrong, they're going to get a piece of my mind. If they do him right and do him justice, fine. Because just remember, he was in the old games, and he didn't look great.
Yeah. All right. I guess that there's one more thing, and this is having to do with Nintendo eShop policies that I completely forgot about. That what's happening, that they're going to be getting sued by Europe, and we'll talk about that real quick. Okay, here we go. So Europe is definitely not happy with Nintendo and other gaming companies. The Norwegian Consumer Council has filed a lawsuit against the pre-order policies of the Nintendo eShop. Reason for this is because, according to the NCC, Nintendo has been violating European consumer protection laws. The NCC has decided to take Valve, Nintendo, Sony, and Electronic Arts to court for violation of the European law. After a thorough investigation, most of the companies ended up free of all charges. However, Nintendo didn't get off the hook. The NCC made a report to the German Consumer Protection Authority afterward. The Nintendo eShop doesn't allow for cancellations or refunds of titles that have been preloaded, and the Norwegian Consumer Council feels that the policy breaks European law, namely the right of withdrawal, which allows consumers to refund a purchase from the moment that they make it until 14 days after receiving the product. The NCC firmly believes that gamers should have a right to make a decision of canceling the pre-order for a game, according to a statement made by the Director of Digital Services, Finn. I'm not going to pronounce the rest. Digital products and services such as digital games for PCs and consoles do not exist in a lawless vacuum. As such, they will be taking Nintendo straight to court over the course of the following 3 to 4 weeks. However, we might have to wait a while to know the results of the lawsuit, as verdicts could take up to a year to be made. And then they said, do you think Nintendo should have a refund policy for pre-orders? And the answer is yes.
Laura says no is dumb.
Like, Jigga, speak your mind. Do you think Nintendo should have a...
I mean, everybody should. Like, it's just... Sometimes you're going to want a game and you pre-order it, like, oh, man, I want that. Then you see more footage and you're like, you know what?
Yeah, this game looking like trash.
Yeah, looking like trash, so I don't need to cancel it, and then you should be able to.
Nintendo like, fam. We got your money already.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's gonna... But that would discourage someone like me from pre-ordering, knowing that I can't cancel.
Yep. That's crazy.
Yep.
I didn't even know about this. Like, I don't pre-order on the Nintendo eShop. Like, I get my games physical, so I haven't...
Yeah, low-key, if I buy a game, it's not from Nintendo, though, so... Oh, man, sorry to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
You see, the way Nintendo runs is just simply... It's just a brand new eShop, right? And they still haven't fitted everything in. And to be perfectly honest, if they did refund a lot of the items, like, you know, games and stuff, then I think things would be a lot different, and I think fans would be very pleased with that. And like, you know, if people want to refund, let's say, Super Mario Brothers, the what's it called, the Smash Brother game, and they say, oh, I don't like this game, I want to refund it, and we can't refund it. It's like, well, we just wasted what, $60, was it, digitally?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm just saying, man. I think it's a point where Nintendo needs to come in now and put the refund situation in.
Yeah. Agree with that. What do you think about this, Inspector?
Can you repeat that?
Nintendo being put in court for the European because of the violation of refund policy, and Nintendo doesn't offer a refund policy or a refund, even though if you pre-order a game like 10 days beforehand, and if you think the game is looking trash, you can't get a refund for that.
Yeah, that sucks. I think they deserve it because, like, I think as Jiga said, like, if the game looks, if you pre-order it and if you think the game looks bad, you should be able to cancel your pre-order.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think it's stupid on the...
I mean, it's not really stupid on their part. They trying to keep that money. Like, hey...
Agreed. It's very greedy. That's what I'm trying to say.
Not for them, but now they're being, put in court, so I'm pretty sure they're going to lose that battle. So... big yikes for them.
But that's only for Europe though. America's still gonna be
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine for America and Canada and all of those other countries.
So we still fucked.
Yeah,
but for us British guys and Spain and all of that, we're all in problems.
Yeah. That's crazy. Damn, they don't get your shit together. Hopefully this lawsuit might change their mind also about refund policies in America.
Yeah, this is not only affecting. This is not only affecting like video game aspects. It's also affecting YouTube videos as well. If you didn't know.
Well, this is completely different in terms like the video, like the YouTube thing. This is just Nintendo's refund policy, and they're being put into court for not, being
allowing
consumer and stuff like that, and allowing that option for European people. Hey man, they should just say, Nintendo, do the right thing. Bring it to America. Refund policy. Thank you. I guess we'll go into now, the movie section, because that's really it. So director Sean Levy steps away from Tom Holland's Uncharted movie. So I'm surprised, and Sean Levy has reportedly stepped down for directing Sony's Uncharted film as the video game action comedy Free Guy has now been greenlit at 20th Century Fox. So now the search for a new director has begun. Some people want this movie canceled. I'm at the mind where they're having a lot of problems for this film. I'm assuming, and it's getting there's so much trouble getting this movie up off the ground that personally, I guess cancel it. Like this to me, just I'm not like before. I was okay. I'm fine with it. Now with them having this much trouble, is it even worth it at this point? Just cancel it. I'm at that mind at that point. Jacob, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I haven't been looking into this movie like that, but there comes a point where it's like when shit's not going right, maybe it's a sign that it just ain't meant to be, bro.
Yeah.
Or the people who's doing it are not meant to do it. I don't know. I can see Uncharted movie being good, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Inspector? What do you think?
Yeah, this movie is having a hard time getting off the ground. I wasn't familiar with Sean Levy when he got announced, so I was kind of indifferent to his announcement as the director.
Yeah.
I'm not really surprised that he's leaving. I wasn't really a fan of the Tom Holland casting because I thought he was too young. Because Tom Holland's like my age. He's like 21.
Yeah.
So I don't get why they were skewing so young for Nathan Drake.
I think they were trying to do it there's an old Nathan Drake. Well, not old, whatever, whatever his age is in Uncharted 1, 2, and and have Elena Fisher as well. And have that story time where they talk about, he explains oh, this happened to me when I was a kid. Have that story. Something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Video game movies are already fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah.
So I think they should just cancel it. No offense to the people making it, but I think they should just cancel it and just make an Uncharted series or something.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually more down with a TV series. Maybe.
Yeah, I agree.
I was gonna say, did you watch Marco Polo on Netflix?
I've not yet. A lot of people said they like it.
I heard it was really good.
I hated it.
Oh, you hated it, Jigga? Oh man.
Oh, Marco Polo. No, I actually did like that. I was thinking of something else, and I was sad they didn't get a season 3. That was actually really good.
Yeah.
But I heard they said it was too costly to make, and it wasn't
And a lot of people weren't watching it or something like that, or subscribing to the Netflix application to watch it.
Which sucks because with Netflix, we don't know the numbers because they don't reveal their numbers.
Yeah.
So.
Facts.
Yeah.
I was really sad when I heard that because it was setting up for a good 3rd season, but they was yeah, we're not gonna do that.
Yep. Talati, what do you think about the turmoil for the Uncharted film losing its director? You think that this movie needs to be canceled?
No, I still think it needs to go ahead, but they'll just look for another director.
I don't know, dude. This is happening too many times. I feel like it's a sign,
I mean, people like that fan film that came out.
Yeah.
My thing is that thing was easier. I don't know. Maybe get those guys to do. I don't know.
Even though I'm still not really partial to Nathan Fillion as Nathan Drake. I know people I know he's a fan favorite, but like, I think he's too old for Nathan Drake. But
Maybe if it's a bit
whatever.
younger.
If they do like de-aging technology for
Yeah.
him,
But I feel like that also costs a lot of money. Not gonna lie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Much for an Uncharted.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like not like a DC movie thing. You know what I mean? DC.
Or Marvel.
That's what I was trying to say. DC or Marvel movie. It's just like oof, too much money here. But nonetheless, I guess now we can quickly talk about the Mandalorian. Right? I'm big fan of this TV series with casting besides Gina. Sorry, Gina. So now the Mandalorian, Black Panther composer Ludwig Göransson to score the Mandalorian. So he's known for his Black Panther, Creed, and Venom, and he's composing the score for the upcoming Star Wars: The Mandalorian. So he's also hot off the heels of the Golden Globe and Grammy nominations for his work on Black Panther, and he also composed for New Girl and Community on TV and produced records for Haim and Chance the Rapper, and has earned 3 Emmy nominations for his work with Childish Gambino. And he said, worlds fail to express how surreal and humbling it feels to be invited into the Star Wars universe, says Ludwig. I am deeply grateful to Jon Favreau and Disney for this opportunity, and to John Williams for raising the bar so high with his iconic intrepid scores. They will never be matched in these next months. I hope to honor the traditions of Star Wars musical landscape while propelling the Mandalorian to new and uncharted territory. And I will try to remember that there is no try. For me, I think it's decent. A decent choice for a composer. I mean, like, I dug Black Panther, but I did notice there were similarities when some people pointed out with movies. But I still thought it was good. But nonetheless, Venom was okay. Score-wise, was okay. Man, to okay. But for me, if he does it good, he does it good. If he does it bad,
bro. I'm gonna have to give him an L because I watched Black Panther. I didn't watch Creed. I watched Venom, and those scores do not stick out to me. Mm-hmm. To me, that's a sign you didn't do a good job.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wait, did you see Creed or no?
No, that's the only one I didn't see.
Okay. Me, I haven't seen Creed yet. I need to watch it. It's on Amazon Prime, I think. So I might watch it. What about you, Inspector? What do you think?
Cool, I guess. Like, the Black Panther score was okay. The Venom score was not really that memorable, and I haven't seen Creed, so I'm kind of indifferent to this.
Yeah. And what about you, Talati? What do you think?
I'm the same as Inspector.
Alrighty. Now we're gonna go into Aladdin. Entertainment Weekly. Always getting these photos, We see a picture for the cast of Aladdin, and we see Will Smith as the genie. And listen. I know some people were like, dude, that's just going to be him throughout the whole film. He did say on his Instagram, and I'm going to quote, "And yes, I'm going to be blue." As this is mostly throughout the whole film, is CGI and him being blue. So this is supposed to be his disguise.
One thing I got to say, Entertainment Weekly continues the tradition of having terrible covers. Their covers are atrocious. Every big cover that they have is really bad.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie about that. But nonetheless, I guess what do we think? I mean, are we surprised that I guess to make this question better, did we initially think that he was going to be looking like this throughout the whole entire film of Aladdin, or do we need to have that, confirmation from Will Smith that no, he's going to be blue mostly the whole entire time of the movie, CGI blue, like big guy, like he was in the Disney film.
Yeah, you need the confirmation because it's like people always want to put their spin on nowadays. Like, oh, it's just nah, bro. I need him the big blue guy, bro. Just seeing Will Smith, I was so taken out of the movie that it's like, nah. But I mean, he is a good actor, but I just can't see him pulling that off. His look is already looking weird, so it's like, nah, I need him to be big and blue dog. But even then, I don't see how that's going to work out. Like, but I just need to see more before I give an opinion.
All right, I feel them. What about you, Spectre? What do you think?
I think for some people, I think he needed to do the confirmation because I think just seeing him like that, like, surprised a lot of people. So he needed to confirm, like, oh, I'm gonna be blue. Like I kind of knew he was gonna be blue.
Yeah.
It's just because it's the genie. I don't think they wouldn't make him blue. It's funny, his costume looks like he's like straight off of Broadway.
Yeah.
Like on the cover. So, because I think that's what the genie looks like in like the Broadway Aladdin. So, I mean, it looks kind of weird on Will Smith, but
yeah, and also, Squirtle was saying, the genie apparently takes on a human form for certain parts of the film, which is what the EW cover showed. Yeah, so that's good confirmation, and I'm glad that they're going to do that. I don't know if it's just like him just disguising himself as a human. I don't know if they're going to change some parts of Aladdin to make that work, and if that's going to be a good change. Nonetheless, I have some of those parts like that. But Sadia, what do you think about this?
I think personally, like Inspector said, it depends really. But for me personally, I feel as if Will Smith will in that role, in the genie role. I don't think it won't be the same as what's his name, Robin Williams.
Yeah, of course it won't be. It's hard to live up to that.
It's hard to live up to that expectation. But like Savage Squirtle said in the chat, that apparently he's going to have half human form as well, within certain parts of the movie, and I'm iffy on that. And the way the EW cover thing is, I'm just like, nah, you shouldn't have posted that. But I hope that there's CGI, or like a lot of it.
They said it's majority of the film.
Like 80%, 80% or 85%.
I mean, I would assume majority is like majority of the film,
Yeah.
Portion of it.
But that's just me, though. I mean,
I feel it. I guess now we can quickly, we talk about Aquaman and then Into the Spider-Verse, and that's about it, to be honest. There's not much news left to talk about. So I guess we can, I guess it's just going to be me and Inspector, because we're the only ones, I guess, that saw Aquaman. Right? I saw the early screening. He saw the early screening. I saw mine at like 7 o'clock.
Mine was at 7 o'clock too.
And I also got invited for an early screening as well, without my Amazon Prime. But nonetheless, I was like, I didn't have enough time to sign up for that one, so I just went to the Amazon Prime showing for my theater, which had nice recliners. It was
mine. Yeah, mine did too.
And it had heaters. Not gonna lie, that was pretty dope.
Mine didn't have heaters, so it was recliners.
Yeah, but I guess to talk my experience of the film, and I liked it a lot. I thought it was very nice. I liked the score for the film. I thought Arthur Curry had a good arc for the film, and thought the CGI for most of the time was amazing. Of course, just like any big budget film,
spots.
Yeah, there are spots. It's the same thing with like Infinity War, and just like any other like superhero film. Even Batman v Superman has spots where it looks not so good, but nonetheless, most of the time it looked awesome. And I was just like, wow, that was crazy. And I loved Ocean Master. I loved that dynamic between him and Arthur Curry. Mira, nonetheless, you guys already know my opinion. She was beautiful in that film. Mira, best representation.
How about Nicole Kidman?
Yeah, she was good too.
Yeah, she was. I loved Nicole Kidman in the movie.
And I liked. I always forget his name. Ah, shoot.
Black Mana.
No. The one that helps our Arthur. I always forget.
Volko.
Volko. Yeah.
Willem Dafoe.
William Dafoe. There you go. I thought like he did a great job. Like when we had that training montage, I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And I very much enjoyed like a lot of it. And I know some people would kind of argue that Black Manta didn't have enough screen time, but I know what they were trying to do. Where if you see like the whole film towards even the ending mid-credit scene, it makes sense for leading up to another film.
Yeah, and, he was mainly just a henchman in this movie.
Yeah, that's the whole point. And I really dug a lot of that film, and I just dug a lot about it, and it was a fun time. It wasn't supposed to be like
like
perfect movie or masterpiece, but it was like one of
a fun blockbuster spectacle movie.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed it and stuff like that, and I'd definitely be getting it on Blu-ray. If I had a 4K Blu-ray player, then I'd definitely get a 4K Blu-ray. It's one of my favorite DC or DCEU movies, along with Wonder Woman. Those are probably my top two.
What did you think of that Pitbull song that was in the movie?
I looked around and I was just like, "What?" I was just a little taken out because
me too. Like it fit the scene that it was in, but it was very jarring.
It felt like
when it came out.
Very Fast and Furious movie song,
Yeah, because it was James Wan directed Fast Five.
Yeah. I know why.
Or Furious 7, I mean.
Even that shot was very when the song was being played, the shot around the city with that song, it very was Fast and Furious-esque, and I was like, oh, yeah, I feel that. But still, I was a little taken out because of the other scores in the film. So, but yeah, it was great.
I also saw the early screening. It was a packed house. I was actually the first one there because I got there 45 minutes early, even with reserved seating. I love the movie. I get why some critics don't like it because it's structured very much like a comic book and not like a regular movie. Because there's a lot, it's a very fast-paced movie. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. The action is great. The shots are great. James Wan does a bunch of cool shots where he goes from on land to underwater to on water on surface level water. There's a lot of great scenes. I loved when they went to the trench, the very horror aspect to the trench.
Oh
yeah. As you said, the CGI was great. Of course there are a few. The third act is nuts.
Oh yeah, there's a lot happening on screen.
Yeah, the third act is nuts. You've seen some of it in the trailers, but you haven't seen all of it.
Oh yeah.
I liked Ocean Master, even though Patrick Wilson did go. He was very over the top. He did a lot of yells.
Mm-hmm.
He yelled a lot in the movie. The fight choreography was great. There was a lot of long takes, which I liked. I mean, yeah, I could nitpick some pacing issues, and Black Manta was underused. But his action scenes are really cool, and I love the way he looked. Again, you can just tell that everyone was having a blast doing this movie. Jason Momoa, Amber Heard, Nicole Kidman, all of them were just having a blast. I felt some of the line delivery in the beginning was kind of stilted, Nicole Kidman's dialogue was kind of stilted at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But it got better as the movie went on. I loved. Some people might be turned off by some of the humor because it's very I don't want to say childish humor, but it's very Jason Momoa humor, and I don't know if people will react well to that. My theater reacted well to the humor, but and I reacted well to the humor. Most of it landed. I would say 80% of it landed, 20% of it didn't. For my theater, I don't know about your theater, Red Hood.
Yeah, there was a lot, and a lot of people enjoyed it. I was a little annoyed. I'll say this in my theater experience. They're oh my gosh, look, and I'm like, oh my, why are you talking right now, woman?
One thing I gotta say, two things actually. Right before the movie started, there was this kid, like a few rows back, and he literally said out loud, he thought he was being quiet, but he literally said out loud, hopefully this is better than Justice League.
Wow.
Didn't say that once. He said it once, and he said, "Oh, you heard that?" And then he said it again.
Hmm.
I could definitely tell it was a kid because his voice was kind of high pitched. He was probably like 10 or 11 or 12, like around that range.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the way the suit looked, like when he got the suit, like the armor.
I heard Jason and a couple people were nervous about it beforehand.
Yeah.
I think it was just like preconception wise, like sketch wise, and they were like, "Oh, we don't know," because Jason's very like fond of like Zack Snyder and like that suit design he had for him. So it's like I was hearing some of the interviews and stuff like that, and then one of the final product he very much liked the suit look, and like James Wan was like seeing him put it on for the first time. He was talking about it, and he's just like, "You're gonna look away." He's just watching until he got into the suit. It was crazy.
Yeah. I liked the mid-credit scene when it came on. I'm like, that's very Titanic, but I don't want to spoil it. But there's only a mid-credit scene. There's not a post-credit scene.
Yep.
So you don't have to stay till the complete end of the credits.
Exactly. All right, I guess we'll go into one like more movie news and then talk about Into the Spider-Verse. Reviews are out for Bumblebee, and it is like I'm not surprised it's doing well. I think Rotten Tomatoes it's like at a 90%. I don't know Bumblebee, a 93%. I'm not surprised. Better than any of the Transformers movies. But before we go into the Spider-Verse, we'll talk about one more thing about visual Oscar nomination. But 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. Everyone's enjoying it. Everyone's liking it, and looks better than any Michael Bay film. Just saying, Michael Bay. Are we surprised about this, Jigga, that Bumblebee is like doing well and stuff like that?
I mean, I'm surprised because I heard it was terrible from the reviews I've seen, but I've only seen like 2 reviewers, so I don't know. But I mean, wait, didn't Michael Bay still do that movie?
No.
He's credited, I think, as an executive producer.
Yeah, which
that explains it. That explains it. Oh man,
explains what.
I was doing well because he makes trash movies. Oh man, we fall back.
He didn't direct it, but like
he didn't direct it. He was the executive behind it.
Yeah, which doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? What's his name? J.J. Abrams is always like a producer and executive producer on a lot of films. The dude has like literally nothing to do with those films, essentially.
Yeah. Like he's been the producer on all of the Mission Impossible movies ever since 3.
Yeah.
So, but he directed 3, but all the rest haven't been directed by him because they're made by his production company, Bad Robot. So.
I guess, Inspector, what do you think about Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that? I guess the critics with Bumblebee.
I mean, like, I'm not surprised. Like, I don't really pay attention to Rotten Tomatoes that much. I've heard kind of mixed things about it. Some people are saying it's good. Like, they're saying it's better than all the Transformers movies, but it's still kind of like basic and like there's a good heart to the movie, but it's very like basic. If you get what I mean.
I heard it's like Iron Giant vibes.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want a good Transformer movie. It seems like I'm going to get one. It pays homage to like the G1, forms of the Transformers. So I'm gonna see it. My only problem is like you got all these good films stacked up to each other, and it's
what's the tracking for Bumblebee?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because I know Aquaman, it went from like 60 million to 120 million. Like the tracking doubled this week.
Hey, look. I can't find it. What the Bumblebee box office tracking? Oh, this is October 30th though. It's saying It's saying he's going to earn the lowest opening in history. This was in October, though, so I don't know. October 30th. So I don't know up to date right now, but I guess, Talara, what do you think?
I think it's good. Firstly, I most likely will go and see it with my niece. The first thing is, of course, it's got the one and only John Cena in it, so WWE will probably use that platform to, they'll use John Cena's platform to say, hey, promote this movie as much. I know he was promoting it in London recently, and it got a very good reception here. And the fact that it's not only that, but it's an also origin story too for Bumblebee in some ways, and you do get to see the very first original, not origins, but the very first model looking for what's his name, Optimus Prime. So to be honest with you, I just can't wait to go and see the movie myself to see how things look. And apparently, what's his name who does the voice of Bumblebee?
Dylan O'Brien.
I think he's from the Maze Runner or something. Apparently, apparently did a good did a good stuff with the voiceover work. And everyone's just seeming to be seeming to say that this movie is doing really, really well, and I just can't wait to see it. But my biggest concern though is how John Cena's acting skills are going to be in this movie.
Yeah, I haven't heard much of his acting skills.
Because he was in, what's it called, Bad Dad 2, whatever it's called, Dad, Coming Home Dad or something like that with what's his name, Will Ferrell and all of that. And I know he's done another movie with.
I heard he was good in Trainwreck.
Yeah, Trainwreck he was good in.
I know John Cena's trying to get him more.
He was also in Blockers. That stupid movie, Blockers.
Blockers, yeah, and the sister movie. Yeah, but that's pretty much it from John Cena's acting career.
Yeah, he's trying to get into more big blockbuster films.
And he's getting out of the wrestling business.
Oh yeah, dude.
He confirmed that.
He's definitely gonna be getting out soon. I mean,
he said that in an interview.
His contract expires, he's not gonna be associated with any of the films that he makes anymore. Just like Rock. The Rock had like the WWE logo for any film he was in. Yeah. And then that got expired because they took a percentage of his earnings,
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
And that's the case with John Cena right now. It's like he's already stated that I'm a part-timer for WWE now. I can fully admit it. And he can see from what The Rock was going through. And this, I believe it was named Chris something, I can't remember. But he did an interview with him. I saw this on YouTube. And I was just like, he just basically straight up said, I'm looking to more projects. I mean, he's doing a movie with Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Apparently. So he's looking to move away from the WWE side and look into more acting. But this movie alone has set the stone for him to do more projects with different studios and stuff like that. And I think that's why Bumblebee is doing really well, because probably people saw the movie, the reviewers, and say, look, John Cena's done really well, and there's nothing bad we can say about him.
Okay, I guess now we can. I haven't seen the film. I'm going to try and see it this weekend. Into the Spider-Verse, it only made like $35.5 million, which is not great. Hopefully, it has long legs, but nonetheless, it's really high on Rotten Tomatoes. A lot of critics love it. I'm hearing a lot of I guess nominations for it to be in the Oscar animated movie film, and
I agree with those thoughts.
But I haven't seen it. I want to see it. I'm gonna try and support it this weekend, and hopefully have a great time watching it. I guess the only person that has seen it is Inspector went to see it. Tell us how.
I saw it yesterday. I loved it. It was a great movie. The everyone is written well, very well. It's very comic booky. Like there's even so far as that there's like speech boxes at some points and for like inner monologue, and they do like, I mean, you can kind of tell that there's three different directors because it's pretty much cut into three different segments, but they all work together. They all work together well. The beginning is a bit slow, but it didn't bother me that much. The animation is beautiful. Which is weird because I didn't say that about the trailers.
Yeah. So
'Cause I
did the trailers like have old animation, or did you have to see it into the whole entirety of it to work, or something like that?
I think you had to see it like the whole entirety of it because the trailers I think didn't do it justice.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's like maybe because like you watch it on YouTube and it's very compressed, so you can't really. It kind of ruins it, but the animation was beautiful. I loved like all the Spider-Men. I just wish Nicolas Cage had more lines because he was one of the best in the movie. I liked all of them. I liked Spider-Gwen. I liked Peter. Like all of them were great. There's some great like hopeful moments and some like heart-wrenching moments. And there is an after credit scene, not a mid credit scene, but there is a credit scene right at the end, and it's one of the best after credit scenes I've seen. It's really funny and it kind of makes fun of a meme, but that's all I'll say.
Okay. Yeah, I really want to see it, and I guess it's gonna be a dope movie that I'm gonna like to see a lot. So I'm gonna try and see it. I'm thinking Friday night or Saturday night, one or the other. I think it's gonna be a very fun time. I guess one more thing. I guess we could talk about visual effects Oscar nominations real quick. And I think I like saw a list. It's like Mary Poppins. I'm gonna go. I need to see this list so we can like go over it real quick and then we can end the podcast. Oscar nominations. Is it 2019 or 2018?
2019.
Okay, short list. Here we go. I don't care about this. Just give me best VFX. Okay. So we got Ant-Man and the Wasp, Avengers: Infinity War, Black Panther, Christopher Robin, First Man, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom, Mary Poppins Returns, Ready Player One, Solo: A Star Wars Story, and Welcome to Marwen. So I'm gonna go with my thoughts real quick, and then we'll go with other people's thoughts real quick, and then also say like I'm gonna say what should be there and what shouldn't be there. I guess Ant-Man and the Wasp didn't watch the film, but I didn't think the CGI was anything amazing. Avengers: Infinity War definitely needs to be there. Has one of like the best like VFX in a superhero movie. Of course, yet again did have some spots, but mostly it was really really good. Black Panther, no. Like I like that film, but that like last act with VFX is awful. Christopher Robin, I think the VFX wasn't good, and I'm a big Winnie the Pooh like nostalgia guy. First Man, hey man, who said that?
I don't know. It's me, that.
Hey man, listen, you don't understand. Once you play Kingdom Hearts and you got Winnie the Pooh there, you're gonna feel it.
I mean, I got past that part, dog. Oh man.
Oh shit, dude! It's like, dude, my childhood's right there. Christopher Robin, no, does not need to be there. First Man, I don't know why it's there. I haven't seen the movie. Maybe it does have VFX. Okay, I'll keep it there. I don't know. Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Does it have good VFX? Like
I didn't see it.
I don't know. I can't say. Mary Poppins Returns. Like I haven't seen the film. It hasn't come out yet, but like, does it really have good VFX? Like, really? Like Mary Poppins? Are we serious right now? Ready Player One. That's hard to say because like had different styles to it. I guess I'm going to leave it there. Solo Star Wars story. No, I'm sorry. And Welcome to Marwin. I never heard of this film.
Me neither. It hasn't even come out yet.
Yeah, same.
So take off Ant-Man and the Wasp. Take off Black Panther. Take off Christopher Robin.
And Infinity War.
And no, what? Take off no. Take off Solo a Star Wars story. And keep Infinity War and add in Aquaman. But for me, like if I were to choose like the best VFX out of all these, and I add Aquaman, I pick Infinity War. I guess, Spectre, what do you think?
Yeah, the list isn't really that good, to be honest. I'm not mad about it because the Oscars are the Oscars, but like they don't really care. I would say keep Infinity War. I guess keep Jurassic Park. I guess the CGI was fine. It looked fine from the trailers. I think they're just saying it because it's Jurassic Park, so they're being partial to it. So I would say keep Jurassic World, keep Infinity War, add Aquaman. Don't put in Black Panther. Don't put in Christopher Robin. Like, I don't know why Mary Poppins is there. Like this list is so weird. I don't know how they made up this short list for.
Yeah.
I guess WB didn't like motion for Aquaman because I think the studio also has to like put it into the ballot.
Yeah.
Or maybe they did and the Academy just didn't choose it. I don't know. But I don't know why Black Panther is there because, as you said, like I think most of the CGI is good, but once you get to that final act, it's very plasticky and not.
It looks
good.
like rubber and stuff. It's like, oh gosh, I'm not looking at it right now. I guess, Jiggy, you have any thoughts on best VFX or best visual effects and who should win?
I have no opinion on who should win, but I do agree with Black Panther. Like, certain parts it looks good, but it's really good up until that fight scene at the end where it just gets really bad.
And you're like, this doesn't look like a person at all.
Yeah, it really don't. But I have to probably go Ant-Man and the Wasp, man. That should win. I don't know if that's in there or not. But
yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp is there. Damn.
Yeah. I really like the visual effects in that movie.
Okay.
The visual effects were fine in that movie. They didn't really impress me because they looked just like the first Ant-Man. Just they did some other things.
Yeah, for me, it's like I guess why I chose Infinity War is just because of like Thanos himself, like how good he looked, and like the hair follicles and stuff like that on his arm and shit. Like I'm like, what the fuck? That's a lot of detail. Like shit. It's like, and like the whole fight scenes and stuff like that. It's like I didn't think like it could be that good. Like it's like Aquaman and Infinity War for me are like the top two, and it's like I sat more into like Infinity War just because of like Thanos being like that type of character and like for that amount of detail. But that's just me. I guess Salani, what do you think?
I'm the same with Inspector.
Okay. I guess that is it. Unless you guys want to add something else to the topics, because there just wasn't really much topic to talk about.
Not really. No, man. I don't think there's anything we can really talk about.
I guess we'll do our outro. Oh, great! I completely forgot Hellboy. Well, why did I forget about that?
I didn't watch the trailer.
I'll quickly go into it. I saw Hellboy. I thought it was solid. I didn't think it was like super amazing, but it was like it has my attention. I do think that it should not be in April. I don't think the movie's going to do well if it's in April. I think it needs to be delayed into maybe the summer months or maybe even fall, to be completely honest. I thought it was great. I think it's going to be a film that a lot of people are going to enjoy, but like not a lot of people are going to see it. That's how I feel. All right, I guess we'll do our outros. Guys, make sure if you're watching this as a past broadcast, comment below. Let us know if you agreed with us, didn't agree with us, or what topic are you most vocal about, make sure to hit that like button. It helps us out a lot. And make sure to, if you want to see more Overlevel podcasts on this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you guys can get updated when the live streams go live. And also, you can check me out on Twitter at Retro240. I tweet some interesting things, some uninteresting things, and go to my Twitch channel because I will be streaming Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and maybe Kingdom Hearts Stream Drop Distance later after the stream. And also, make sure to check these guys out when they do their outros as well. And Jigga, where can they find you at?
Check me out on Twitter, Jigga April 1. And check me out on I can't even speak. Check me out on Twitch, Jigga April. Sometime this week I should be doing a Call of Duty stream. So if you want to see that, come check me out.
And Inspector, where can they find you at?
They can follow me on Twitter at the Inspector. They could also find me. I did a discussion with my friend on with one of my friends on Batwoman Elegy. You can find that on Dark Knight Nation that came out yesterday. It's a past podcast, and you can look for my top 5 comics of 2018 sometime next week. So as an article. So.
Okay. And Taladia, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter, which is at mtaladia. You can also find me on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Taladia Plays. And it's the same thing with YouTube, Taladia Plays. Currently, I'm not streaming on Twitch, but I will be making more YouTube content for you guys out there, talking about the latest Batman game coming from Warner Brothers Games Montreal, as they've been hinting out left, right, and center of their possibly announcement. So I should be making a video soon. But I hope you have enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe to Red Hood, and make sure you follow all of us on our socials. And until then, guys, take it easy.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
And I completely forgot. We probably won't have a podcast because
there won't be a podcast. No, there won't be a podcast. There won't be a podcast until New Year, guys.
So Jiggy, get that break, So, guys, this is the Overleveled podcast signing off.
See you guys.
Nothing, dog.